What is going on, guys, and welcome to Dota Chronicles, and today we're going to be covering a very important topic in the Dota 2 community that I've been seeing more and more often, and I feel like Valve really needs to address this problem as they keep hemorrhaging players left, right, and center. A lot of people are quitting the game, which is sad to see because this is my favorite game and I have a lot of passion for it. And I don't want to see players go away for simple mistakes and things that they can definitely start fixing, but it seems like they just don't care. So hopefully you guys do enjoy the video. I honestly think that you should get rewarded for winning in ranked games, especially with role queues. I think the role queue system is absolutely broken from the start because once you run out of role queue games, you are forced to play positions you are normally not in. Unless you're a support player or you play every position, you are not going to be comfortable playing that position, and it's going to put you in a place where your carry is going to start getting mad at you, or your offlaner or your mid laner, because you're not rotating. You don't know exactly what you need to be doing on the map, and it's not very easy for players to learn a different position. It's not easy. Each position has a lot of caveats and a lot of things you need to be doing in order to maximize your wins. I feel like you should just get role queue games after each win. Now, at least one. I'm sure they're not going to give more than that if they ever were to do this, but at least one. If you win, you go neutral. You still keep playing, and it kind of forces you to want to keep playing for the win and not throw so much. Even Arteezy was talking about it, how the North America server is so fucked up with griefers right now, and I do agree. I am playing on this server and there is so much griefing. I feel like 4 out of 10 games are full of griefers. That is just way too much, and I'd like to say it's more, but I'm going to go conservative with a 4 out of 10 that are just griefing. And a lot of players will just start throwing the game just because you made an item recommendation. You're not even being toxic. If you're playing into a full-blown magic lineup and you don't have a BKB and somebody recommends it to you, they are just trying to help you win the game and play better. They're just trying to tell you that is the item that you need to build because it's just a friendly recommendation. It's no big deal. Now, if they say in a really bad tone or they're screaming at you or they're like shit-talking you, then yeah, I feel like you don't want to listen to those players. But if they're saying it nicely, hey man, I think you should get a BKB, they have a lot of magic damage, and they're just giving you an item recommendation, like it's not that big of a deal. And some of these players will throw an absolute tantrum and they will stop playing the game. And playing 4 versus 5 is really tough, as you guys may know. This is a team game, so everybody's contribution is really important to the game, and you will end up losing a ton of games, and that really pisses me off because then you wasted your time. If you're in a 40-50 minute game just to get a loss because somebody was griefing you, you feel really bad about that. You're not going to get those 50 minutes out of your life back, especially for a loss. And if you really care about your MMR, yeah, you're gonna report them, but I feel like reports don't really do shit. Half the time these accounts are not getting banned, they're not even going into low priority, and there's like no impact. I feel like the report system should kind of tell you what happened to that player. Let's say one player was griefing and the entire team reported him. It should tell you after the investigation was done, or however they do it, it should tell you, okay, this player was placed in low priority due to massive reports. Then you're like, okay, cool, okay, this guy got placed in low priority, nice. Or this account got banned because it was scripting and hacking, or it was smurfing. It should be able to tell you what happened with that account, or at least give you an idea if the report even did anything, because half the time I feel like it doesn't do shit. The amount of smurf accounts in Dota 2 is absolutely insane. I know they did a purge not too long ago, but there is still so many blatant accounts, and it's so freaking obvious too. It's not like they're trying to make it seem like they're not smurfs. You can absolutely tell they're low-level accounts with low-level games and still have a ton of wins. They have rampages all over their feed. They got like 300-400 games, but yet they're playing Archon. Like, that just doesn't happen. You don't learn to play Dota and start in Archon after like 400 games. I have 3,000 games personally, and I am just Archon 1. Now, a lot of people can have 2,000 games and be a legend player. Some people learn faster, some people learn slower, some people have more luck, some people have been playing in parties non-stop, so there's a lot of ways you can get around it. But 300 to 400 games, sub 1,000, even 1,000 games is like little when you're learning Dota. Like, you learn every single day new things in Dota. It's just that type of game. And you see those accounts and you see this player popping off and you're just so pissed off about it because they are a smurf. That's what ends up happening. So when I see a smurf on the other team, I check everybody's account before the game, as long as it's not private. I check everybody's account. When I see a smurf, I have to extra try hard the game in order to compete, because if you just go in blind and you assume they are the same MMR and you see them shitting on you in the laning phase, when you're supposed to be winning the matchup based on counters, you start to tilt a little bit because you shouldn't be losing that matchup. Now, you may blame it on poor skill level, but usually these players are very good because they're coming from higher bracket, not necessarily immortal, but they're just either legend players or ancient players, and they're just playing down in Crusader Archon division or even Heralds, and they're just shitting on people for no fucking reason. These types of people should get their accounts banned. It is so toxic to have Smurfs in the game. You will always have some kind of Smurf. I just feel like they need to be doing more about these Smurfs. Another key point I want to talk to you guys about today is account buyers. There are so many freaking account buyers in this game. I never really noticed it until the last couple of months. I've been noticing so many account buyers. I was playing with my friends up in Ancient, and I just managed to see so many account buyers in the games that we were playing because these guys are showing the Legend badge, Legend 4, Ancient badges, and I'm like, well, these guys don't even know the basics of Dota. You can clearly tell their mistakes that they're making are those of a Herald player or a newer player, which there's no problem, but you're buying an account to play ranked on a rank that you don't belong in. And it's not like you were Crusader and you bought an Archon account, because then you could get away with it because you're almost the same skill level as those guys. But if you were a Herald and you buy an Immortal account, like what happened, and BSJ covered it about a year ago, when they bought GPK's Smurf account, this guy was getting destroyed, obviously because I think he was a Herald player or a Guardian player, and he was playing with some of the best pro players in the game. Obviously he was getting shit stomped because you're not good enough to be playing in that bracket because you're playing with professional players. You need to be at their level to even compete with them. And that's just an example of an account buyer. There's so many account buyers. I'm sure you guys run it into your games. The higher MMR you go, the more account buyers there is, honestly, because I'm sure there's no account buyers for like Guardian or Crusader. I don't think, because it's kind of a waste. If you're gonna spend money on an account, you'd rather buy a higher MMR account so you kind of feel better about yourself, even though it's kind of stupid. You should earn your MMR and learn how to play the game. If you are hard stuck, don't always blame your teammates. Sometimes it will be your teammates, 100% I agree, but out of 10 games, you can't blame your teammates for 9. It's just not that way. You can blame them for 1 or 2 games here that your carry was throwing or something like that, but other than that, no, you can't do that. But I definitely think that they should be enticing players to win with rewards like Shards, because the Shard system is pretty garbage. I mean, you got to complete these missions on your heroes, and I understand that, but you should be giving them every single game they play some type of Shards for winning, or for trying, or for different things that they can do, because you are paying them at least, I think it's $5 or $6 a month for the Dota subscription, and you are not getting that much value if you already have like the big skins that you can get. You're not getting that much value if you've had it for a couple years. They can just give you Shards for winning games or for accomplishing different feats. If you get a rampage in a game, you should get them right away, not if you get 5 rampages and that's when you'll get the Shards. No, every single thing should be rewardable. If you get a multi-kill spree, if you win the game without dying and things like that, you should be able to accumulate like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 Shards per game, because at the end of the day, they're not even adding that much new content to the Dota Shards. So you're not really getting a ton of value unless you guys have like hundreds of thousands of those and you have everything unlocked, and then you can kind of take advantage of it with the treasures. I feel like that system's a little bit broken too. There's a lot of things they need to do, and I hate seeing Dota numbers be down and not gaining players, and we just keep hemorrhaging players going to different games where honestly they just care a little bit more. League of Legends is a game that I personally don't play just because I don't like it, but there's a lot of players that have been transitioning into League of Legends because they post so much content. They fix their game. Nobody's perfect, but they fix their game very consistently. They post new content all the time. They post new heroes. For us to get a new hero, it takes so freaking long to get a new hero, and when we do, it's so broken that it takes months to fix it, and we're in a state of just garbage and dog shit the entire time. Definitely let me know in the comment section below what you guys think, if Dota needs to be fixed. I definitely do. All these things need to be fixed because we cannot keep getting griefers in our games so consistently. Like, if you get 1 griefer out of 10, that's fine. I feel like it's more like 50% of the time I'm getting a griefer, or people that are just absolutely tilting and you have to mute them. They are expecting this to be like TI. You should be able to do something about those players because the levels of toxicity are increasing incredibly incredibly fast. You should be able to have a good time in Dota without raging and without having people yell at you and call you shit names for being a shit player or for making a really bad play. Like, this is not TI, this is not professional. But if you want to try new strats, you should definitely try it in unranked, because people's MMR is on the line, and you should definitely be playing your best role with your best heroes, or heroes that at least you comprehend to a decent level. Hence why I mentioned that the role queue system needs to be fixed, because I know a lot of friends of mine, they are either carry players or support players, and once they have to go all roles, they will end up losing a lot of games, because if they get to play carry and you're a support player, it's not all the time that the other players will swap into carry, so you're kind of screwed. You don't know how to play the position, you don't have a hero pool that fits that position, so you end up picking really weird stuff, and then you end up losing, and then you're the one that's getting reported for griefing or for feeding when it really wasn't your fault in the first place. Now, I get it, you can play non-role queues, but that is honestly the best way to play Dota, because it secures your position. I'm a mid laner. If I do non-role queue, chances are everybody's going to want to go mid lane, because it's one of the most popular positions in the game, and I'm not going to be able to play mid ever, or they're just going to grief and go 3 people down mid lane, and it's going to be a shit situation where they're going to force me to play a different lane. I think they can do a good amount of fixes to make the system a little bit better and to remove these freaking griefers and the amount of toxicity. They can do a lot of things. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Let me know what are your concerns about Dota 2 and what things you would like to see gone from our servers. I'd definitely like to hear your opinions in the comment section below. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.